Whereas previously, people had answers to very deep philosophical questions, which now people are seeking. There's no need to seek, the answers are there. Scientifically also, knowledge is given in the Vedas, which is about the atoms and other planets. There's a lot of knowledge. So we proposed in that seminar how to get perfect knowledge, we should synthesize science and spirituality. If we take the Vedas and take science from the Vedas, then we realize that actually science and spirituality don't necessarily have to be separate. They can be together. And in fact, it's better. The Vedas give knowledge scientifically, even spiritual knowledge is given scientifically. So then it's not a problem. Now today we are doing the second session. This is titled, Who Am I? In other words, our eternal identity. Okay? Now while we are covering this, if anyone has questions in between, you can just ask me. And of course at the end we'll ask, we can have questions and answers. So who am I? This presentation today is an investigation into our actual identity. If I ask you, who are you? You might give me a name. What does that mean? And we're not given the name immediately. It's something after 2 weeks after birth or something, 1 month, 2 weeks. So then who are you before that? Or you may tell me where you're from or that, but that's your place. And who are you? You may describe yourself in relation to your parents or your state or your family or something. But again, who are you? No, we do not know. So now let's look at it. Our eternal identity. We'll cover specifically 4 subtopics within this. The most important knowledge. There's different knowledge. What is the most important? Second, our eternal identity. Then further knowledge on this topic. And self-realization, realizing our identity. Okay, so we'll begin. We have different branches of knowledge. Now if, for example, all of you are VIT, if you look at the prospectus, they'll give a list of courses you can do, and you're all doing different courses. There are many different courses, but there's no course explaining why we were born. What is the purpose? No one studies that. We look at that. Why? So, in order to increase our knowledge, realization, people go and study. But now it's become commercial. The people study just to get a job. But it used to be, previously, seats of learning here in India and all over the world were for people to deepen their knowledge and research. So, that was the original idea. Get knowledge, get wisdom. But there is some knowledge you cannot get in the schools and colleges. We discussed this yesterday. We called it the questions of life. These are the questions of life. Who am I? Why was I born? What is the purpose of life? Why are we suffering? How to be always happy? What is life? Who can define this? Which scientist can define this? What is life? Or philosopher. What is consciousness? Now in the modern day when we discuss these topics, no one has concrete answers. You know how they say? They say, maybe it's like this. Or, perhaps. Or they say, well, we are looking into it, but we have come up with some idea, Then after a few years, well, we just made a breakthrough. Everything was wrong what we discussed before. Now I'm giving you something new. I remember that it was around mid-90s when Stephen Hawking wrote a book, A Brief History of Time. It was amazing. He was one of the greatest scientists in the modern age. So he produced this book, and then my father gave me, this is a very good scientific book, read it. He's glorifying it. So I read it, it didn't make much sense. I thought, okay, it's scientific, so I can't understand it. It's very high. Everyone's glorifying him. After 7 years, he said, I've come to deeper realization, and now I'm writing something different. That's wrong. This is the one. So, this is, science means knowledge. Knowledge means it's true. Knowledge comes from the word, to know. Now, if we keep changing the science, how do we know now that is wrong? What we're studying now won't be changed. light, if previously light travels in a straight line, then, well, actually, no, it travels in waves. The latest, no, it's traveling in photons, packets of energy. Okay, now what's the next? So, we need concrete answers, especially for topics like this. Concrete answers. So, as we mentioned, the Vedas explain that human life begins when people inquire into questions of life. We are getting different knowledge. And we say human society has progressed because we have done research and we know so many other topics now which we did not know. Okay, but the Vedas explain, actually civilization begins when we begin to question the points of life like this. There's actually a verse which we covered yesterday. I'll show it again. Here it's explained in Sanskrit, you can see the translation is there. Eating, sleeping, sex and defense. These four principles are common to both humans and animals. The distinction between human life and animal life is when a man has higher intelligence and can make spiritual inquiries, but an animal cannot. Therefore, a man without the urge for spiritual search is no better than an animal. This is given in Hitopadesh. So, everyone is engaged in material propensities. But according to this, the actual civilization starts when people question, what are the stars? What is creation? Who am I? Questions like that. So these are called questions of life or spiritual inquiry. In Sanskrit it's called Brahma Jigyasa, spiritual inquiries. So there's a quote here by, you can see, by Srila Prabhupada, the founder of Iskcon. He says, human life is meant for inquiring about Parabrahman, which means the Supreme Absolute, and one's relationship with him. Unfortunately, people are not asking questions about Parabrahman. Everyone is asking about the news and the morning paper, and everyone is concerned with going to the market and purchasing so many goods for cheaper price. All this is going on in human society and in cat and dog society. So he regularly speaks about this point that this society is animal society because we did not start spiritual inquiries. So he said that this is animal society. And some people may say, no, how can you call animal? He has a degree, he has a PhD, he's educated. Then Prabhupada said that sometimes we see animals also dressed like that. They wear suits, they wear ties, but it doesn't mean they're civilized. So, out of these questions of life, which is the most important? The first one. The first question. This is something we have to know. Who am I? Okay, now, to make a point here, I'm going to do a short demonstrative exercise. Okay? Now I need someone new. I'm going to ask some questions and you just have to answer them. Volunteer? Great. Okay, great. You can volunteer. Okay, just as you are, I'll ask questions, you can answer. Okay, now you have to answer, I'll ask you questions. Okay, what is this in your body? What is this? Head, I'll give you a hint. Okay, what is this? Shoulder, correct. Okay, what is this? Correct. Okay, last one, what is that? Chest. Okay, this correct. Okay, now that is your head, that is your shoulder, that is your elbow, that is your chest. Okay, now the point now is you have to answer the question by pointing when I ask you. Where is your shoulder? Point. Okay. Where is your head? Okay. Now the next question. Where are you? Now you're pointing at the mat. Okay. Where are you? Point. You have to point. Oh, right? AC. Okay. Another? Someone want to help him? You can just show me where you are with your finger. Okay. Where are you? Form. Okay. So,
Now, I just want to show you, okay, that, you see, it's not only you, it's not against, this is the society, this is our world, that we, myself also, supposed to be cream of society. We are in college, but we don't know where we are, we don't know who we are, we don't know what we are. This is a point, okay? We do not have this knowledge, which is the first point of knowledge. Okay, now let's look at it, all right? Let's start off. Every day we look in the mirror and we start combing our hair or adjusting, our face, and we are thinking, this is me. This is me. I have to look good. I have to be healthy. So we take a lot of care of the body. But just now, we saw how he was saying, my head, my shoulder, my. He didn't say I head, I shoulder. My means possession, isn't it? My glasses, my watch, my body. Therefore, we are not the body. You see, everyone has different body here. But we are not this body. The body is simply a vehicle. We don't realize this. We realize it at some times when someone close to us dies. Now in what we say, now in English we say die, but we have other names, in different, in Hindi, deh tyag. Yeah? He left the body. So now look, somebody is alive. Next second he's dead. What is the difference? Same body, same eyes, everything is there, but there's something has gone. Something is missing. Oh yeah. Some of you have a clue about it. So this body is a vehicle. It is not who we are. Okay? Our eternal identity is the soul. Inside there is a small particle of consciousness which is running this body. That is who we are. Who am I? I am a soul. Aham Brahmasmi. I am not this body. Now we have a big problem because in modern civilization, the whole civilization is based on the body. Making body comfortable, making the body happy, making the body hot, cool, body. I'm not the body. The problem now is we are seeking happiness on body platform through our five senses. But I'm not the body. So how can I become happy by making this body happy? We may get some form of happiness, but not the deep happiness we are seeking. So now, in Bhagavad Gita there's a verse. It reveals our nature as separate from the body. Okay, this is the verse. Here's the translation. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body of death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Now this verse says that when the body changes, our body changes so much. All of you here had at some point a 1-year-old body? Yeah? Okay. Can you tell me where it is? Can you point? Where is it? Where's the body? You may say, oh, we grew. What is growth? Really, what is growth? What is it? Every second, cells are changing in the body. Every second, the body is different. Here's a picture. What is this? Family photo. No, this is changing bodies exhibit. This is one person, by the way. Look at that. He had so many bodies. You also had this. We had different bodies. Every second our body is created and destroyed. Now we are seeing growth because I saw some things, but growth means the body is changing. As I said, every 7 years they say every single cell has changed in the body. It's medical point. But the Bhagavad Puran says, just like a river is flowing, you cannot point and say this river water because the water is flowed already. And just like a fire, if you watch the fire, it ignites and contracts within a second, continuously. So the flames are not the same. This fire is trapped in the wood or whatever is burning, and it's coming out. And it's come out, another one has come. Okay, we don't know this, but we know this from deeper knowledge, what's really going on. So similarly, what we call the body, every second is manifesting and destroying according to our karma. Manifesting, destroying. Now I'm seeing I'm not seeing that, and we are just seeing each other because it's happening so fast. But if we meet after 10 years, you look different. Then I see it. But actually it's happening every second, and this is the picture explaining this. This is what the verse says in Bhagavad Gita. That, you see, the body keeps changing every second, but something is not changing. Us. We are not changing. We may have some more experiences or some more knowledge, but we know I'm the same person. I underwent this experience, that experience. I was in a 1-year-old body, and when you become old, I want to run up the steps. I can't. There's no energy. I became old. So, this is showing that in this life, we get so many different bodies, but we're not affected. Similarly, that verse said, at death, we get another body, and the soul enters into that body. Then it says, Dhiras tatana muyati. The soul, the person who is in knowledge doesn't become bewildered during death. He understands what's happening. This old body dies, and one enters a new body. So we are not affected even by death. Soul is not affected at all. It just goes on. And you may say, how is that possible to get a new body? Already in this life, we got so many bodies. So this is what's explained. Within Bhagavad Gita, there deep knowledge is given about the soul. Okay, it's too much to go through all of it, but I'll explain here what it says, for example. It says that the soul is imperishable. It cannot perish. Anashino, it can never be destroyed. It is immeasurable. You cannot measure the soul because it's a different substance. You see, this is matter. Jad. There's another substance. It's called Chit, spiritual. Spirit cannot be seen unless you have certain qualification. So, the soul is najayate, cannot be born. Actually, when we say birth, the body is born, body dies. Soul is never born. We, you and me, are eternal. We can never be killed. We can never be born. We always exist. Unborn, permanent, and it says oldest. Shashvata, permanent. Purana, oldest. Cannot be cut into pieces. All of these were a series of verses, because what happened was, when Arjuna didn't want to fight the war, Krishna told him, why are you afraid? You cannot kill these people. Whatever weapons you have here, the wind weapon, the fire weapon, that sharp weapon, all the different kinds of weapons they had previously, nothing can kill the soul. He's explaining in this way. He explained that invincible, avyakta, Ashcharyavat, amazing, avadhyo, cannot be killed, cannot be dried, cannot be made wet. The soul cannot at all be disturbed. This is our nature. This is who we are. Still now, that is about the soul. Now the next question comes, but I'm in this body. What about that? Okay, now let's look at further knowledge about our existence, soul, body, intelligence and mind. This is all taken from the Vedas. So how many souls are there in each body? There are actually 2 souls. First of all, we have to explain this point. There is a soul and a super soul, Atma and Paramatma. Okay, we heard of this word, Paramatma, English, super soul. Paramatma is in everyone. Atma is, I'm just in this body. So Paramatma is actually expansion of Vishnu. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita, that inside of everyone I am present, Krishna says. Here's a picture explaining that Vishnu has expanded in all bodies. You see each of these people, they're all different. They're all different personalities. This is the soul. They all have souls. But next to that is Vishnu form of Paramatma. So, we should understand. Some people mistake this because when it says in Shastra that Krishna says, I'm in everyone, I'm the soul, super soul. So everyone thinks, I'm God. No, that's not the fact. Because it's mentioned very clearly. Cha means also. There's a particular verse where Krishna says, I am there, also, you are there, and I am also there. They are two souls. So, inside me, inside all of us. Not only in humans, but also in animals, in plants. All have the same super soul. Cockroach, ant, the super soul is there. Souls are the same for everyone. Why does the super soul reside here? What does it do? The super soul gives knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness, and intelligence. This is given. Sometimes we may think, I'm intelligent, I have a big brain, because now in modern science, intelligence comes from the brain. But there is a phenomenon called out-of-body experience or near-death experience, where people come out and see their body. Now you may say, how can that happen? But it's happening too many times. Not here in India, in America, everywhere. And some, they're having operation or they have a very severe accident. Then they come up and watch their body. They said, I was seeing everything, I saw everything. Oh, that was a dream. Can you explain? Yes, I explained. You went there, you said this, he said that, and he explained everything clearly. So now they give a name to it. It's called OBE, out-of-body experience. So in that case, how can you say intelligence is the brain? It's not. It's a subtle substance which is within, we'll see, explain it. It's going further here. But the point is, intelligence is given by the super soul. You can know that when you want to solve a problem. If I want to solve a mathematical problem, I start to think about it, but the answer is not there. But I'm querying. What am I querying? Not the brain. If it's there, I'll get it immediately. It's not there. It's like I'm sending a request, and then a reply comes. This is the answer. Or, depending on my karma, I may not have that intelligence. I will not get the answer. So it depends. So, Paramatma does this, provides this intelligence. And here, this is a verse in the Gita explaining, Krishna is explaining, I am seated in everyone's heart, and for me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Even forgetfulness. When we change the body, we forget everything. Yesterday I gave an example. I asked one of you, how old? He said 19. So I said, can you remember 10 years ago? Yes. You're 19? Yes. Can you remember 22 years ago? No. 22. I'm 19. Well, the point is, we forgot. And that forgetfulness is caused by Paramatma. And remembrance. And knowledge. Knowledge also comes through Paramatma. So, this is explained. Now, what is relation between body, senses, mind, intelligence, and the soul? This is explained in the Upanishads through an analogy. Okay, many people speak about disturbed mind, trying to get high intelligence, controlling senses. Practically, if we don't understand about soul, about the body, it's very difficult for us to have a controlled mind. That comes from knowledge, first of all, understanding who we are. So, this is a long verse. We'll just look at the translation. Okay, this comes in Kathopanishad. The individual soul is a passenger in the car of the material body. The intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument, and senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in association of the mind and senses. So, this is what we just read. This is a rath. You can imagine. Now in the rath is a passenger. The rath, the chariot, is the body. The passenger is the soul. This is explained in Kathopanishad. The driver of the chariot is the intelligence. Intelligence drives us. But it should be that the driver is telling intelligence, the passenger is telling the driver, I want to go here. And if he's a good driver, he'll take you. Intelligence has to be good. Intelligence is controlling 5 things. What are those 5 things? 5 senses. Intelligence should control the senses. How? Through the mind. You see that? The reins, what we call the driving instrument, the reins, that is the mind. Okay? I hope you understood this. I'll explain again. The senses are the horses. Horses, the senses are controlled by the mind with the intelligence. Intelligence controls the senses with the mind. Therefore, if you control the mind, senses are under control. Yeah? And in the Rath should be that the passenger who is saying, okay, take me here or there. But in reality, this is not the situation. Isn't it? Are we in control of our mind and senses? It's difficult. And who knows this? Advertising industry knows this. They know how to sell products. Even to sell a car tire, they put a beautiful woman. What has a woman got to do with the tire? Or they want to sell, some food. I've not seen this here, but in the West, in the metro, people are coming up the metro. So they'll make coffee, put a fan, and fan it down the escalator. And people coming up, they have to have coffee. What a nice smell! And they'll come up and buy it. Or like this is the trick. You want to sell some food, you make it look very nice to Photoshop. That's not really what you'll get at the counter. So, advertising industry knows that we are a complete servant of our senses. 99% of us, we are. This is the position. What does that mean? These horses are going wherever they want because the driver cannot control them. Okay, so if our senses are not controlled, we cannot do anything meaningful in life. Neither can we say, I want to go here properly, even in day-to-day life. So how to have a steady life, controlled senses and mind? Strong intelligence. Intelligence is not IQ here. When we talk about, within the Vedic context, strong intelligence, it refers to spiritual intelligence. This means we have to understand our identity as a soul and that what is our position in this material world. I am not the body, I am not matter, I am a soul, I am spirit. And even to be happy, I can't be happy materially. I may get some happiness, but the real deep happiness is not going to come in this way. So this understanding, this means a strong intelligence. When we understand what is the mind, I am not the mind is under me. At the moment the mind is in control of all of us and telling us what to do and follow the senses. Because intelligence does not know what is going on. How can intelligence know what's going on? In the Vedic culture, the first thing that was done, children were sent to Gurukul at least for 12 or 15 years. In that time they were taught, you are a soul, why you were born, what is your purpose in life. And that was clear. Then the material education came, then the vocational. But now we dive into LKG, UKG, no one has a clue why we took birth. We're going through this education, that education, we get a degree, we're getting a job. Meanwhile, I'm wondering, why did I take birth? What's going on here? And then your friends will tell you, what are you doing? Go back to your life. Don't think about these things. Because people can't answer the questions. So, how do we get a strong intelligence? By understanding this. So how do we get it? Through Bhagavad Gita. If you go back 1, 2, 3 generations, like talk about your grandfather or his father, everyone had this book at home. Everyone will read it, especially in the evenings. Or not only that, the other Shastras, they'll give a narration, a story, but so many powerful spiritual instructions. People are very stable. They were not disturbed. They could stay in one house their whole life, peacefully. No TV, no music system. And we're going back 100, 200 years, there were no cinemas here in India. No cinema, no restaurant. People were happy. Why? Because inside they were peaceful. They had proper knowledge and a realization. But now we don't have that. So we have to have so many artificial material things which will try to make us happy. Still it's not working. So in order for us to come to the highest state of knowledge and control of mind and senses, we have to read Bhagavad Gita. That will tell us who we are. I am a soul. What is my position? So hearing, reading, discussing this topic. In fact, in many places in India now, they're discussing. But our Iskcon Gita is now studied in universities all over the world because of Iskcon. For example, if you just buy our Gita, you open inside, you see the courses and colleges which are studying it now. This is higher knowledge. Okay, so we are talking about mind, senses, intelligence. This is a very deep topic. Next comes the body. The soul is in the body. I'm not the body. But what is going on? Why am I in this body? What is it? Of course, we have some information. You all did biology. But now we are delving into Vedic knowledge. So we'll get information we may not have heard of. Now, there's a concept here, gross and subtle bodies. Okay, this is called Sthul Sharir and Sukshma Sharir. There's also another word, astral body. Within this material gross body, there's another body which we cannot see. That is called the subtle body. We use this gross body to perceive things in this material world. I can pick up something, I can see, I can eat and taste, and I can be present. That is the gross body. But there's another body called the subtle body, Sthul Sharir. The subtle body, it records everything we do. Every single thing, there's a memory from the beginning of our creation. We cannot even measure how long ago that was. So this gross body is made of 5 things. Who can say? 5 elements. Earth, fire, water, air, and ether. Okay, some of you are not so familiar. It looks like some of you have been coming here, so you know. There, Bhagavad Gita explains 5 elements in this creation, gross elements, out of which everything we see is made of. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. So the bodies we have are only made of these 5 things. The gross body. Now Bhagavad Gita explains, the Bhagavatam explains, there is life on every single planet in this universe. Now we are trying to, is there life on Mars? Is there life on Jupiter? What's going on the moon? But actually all this is recorded in great detail in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto. There it says yes, and they, for example, on the sun, they are beings. How are we going to live on the sun? There's fire, isn't it? But their bodies are made of fire. In the same way that deep in the ocean, we cannot exist. But there are animals existing, made of water. Practically 99% they're made of water. So in this way, there's no limit where different animals can exist. So the gross body, this particular one we have now, what is the name of this planet? Say in English, Earth. Why do you think that is? Because actually, a lot of knowledge is derived from Sanskrit. Now in English, in Sanskrit, this Earth is called Bhumi, yeah? What does Bhumi mean? Of course, it's Devi, but land, okay? The reason this planet is called Earth is because element Earth is predominating. And therefore, our bodies are made of predominantly of Earth. But if you go to higher planets, we have what we call now Sukshma Sharir. Okay, now I'll explain about another point. This is the gross body, what we can see. But now there's something called subtle body, Sthul Sharir. We cannot see that. We all have that subtle body. It's made of 3 things. Who can say? What is the subtle body made of, which you cannot see? Ego is one, false ego, ahankar, and intelligence and mind. Mind, intelligence, and for the soul encased in false identity. Let's say soul, just to make it simple. Soul is covered in mind and intelligence. So now that is the body that we move around in. When we change the body, we leave the gross body, we go to another one. We take mind, intelligence, and the soul goes around. This is the subtle body. At death, all our experiences, desires, they go to the next body because the subtle body has gone and taken it. So what happens that every action we do, like I pick up something, I see an ant, I kill it. Or I see someone suffering, I help him. So every single thing is recorded. In the same way like a camera is recording every second. Everything is recorded. And this recording goes back very long, we can't imagine. In fact, I'll tell you a story in Mahabharata. Once Dhritarashtra approached Krishna after the war. He said, I had 100 sons, or 100 sons. And they all died. Why is that? Now Dhritarashtra had some power. He had the power to remember 100 lifetimes. So Krishna told him, you can remember your 100 lives, yes. Can you remember 101? No. What happened? He told him, you are a hunter. You shot an arrow in a nest. And that was a previous yuga, everything was different. So now those birds, they produced many birds. They produced 100 children. You shot the arrow with the flame and burned all the children, kid birds. And the father's eyes were burned shut, became blind. So he said, but that was 101 lifetimes ago, so why am I suffering now? Then the answer was because it took you 100 lifetimes to get the punya to have 100 sons. We don't know when any of our karma will hit us because we don't know what we did. And it's been aged, very old, our existence. Anadi karma phala. It's practically beginningless that when we started the cycle of birth and death. So now, as I said, every action is recorded in the subtle body. Okay? So, question. I said that we take a birth, as some of you know this answer, I know. So, I said that we change the body. So, how many bodies are there? You know, someone answered yesterday. How many types of bodies are? Some of you are new. Now, in science, there's no figure like that. But in the Vedas, it is. Yeah, 84 lakh type of bodies. How did I come up with that? Well, I didn't. It's given in Shastra. Is it possible to know? Yes, we can know and count all of them. We cannot count. So we have to accept high authority. Now, I'll give a figure. You may not accept it. Then I challenge you, okay? Prove it. Tell me there are more or less. Actually, we cannot do that. So it's questions like this we have to accept higher knowledge. Science can never give this answer. Even if we say, I found all the species here, what about on the moon? There might be some species there. Or species we cannot see even, which there are, by the way. Living entities we cannot see. So then, as I mentioned yesterday, we discussed Shabda, Praman. That means that there's some knowledge which we cannot get with our senses, we have to accept higher knowledge. Okay, and you may say, but that your knowledge is wrong, how can you prove this? But you cannot. Even if I prove, you'll not understand. So this is a verse in Padma Puran, giving exact numbers. It's not only here, it's also in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. So the numbers are given here. If you add them up, it comes to 84 lakh. Exactly. This is Vedic knowledge, exact. Now you may say, where are these in species? They are not all on this planet. And they may not all exist at the same place and time. But they are present. Okay, of course, as you know, evolution is not accepted in Vedic thought because the records are there from very long time back. Okay, so now there are 84 lakh bodies. Okay, next question is, what determines the material body we will get? You may think, now I got a human body, next time I'll get another human body. Not necessarily. So what determines the next body? Karma. One word, good, but that's not all, there's another one. We hear a lot of karma, karma in movies also. It's my karma, it's your karma. It's a famous word. It's come to the English dictionary also. But there's another thing. What is that? Actually, it's karma and desire. Okay? Okay, karma is here. There is ichcha and karma. Because I may desire something, then I have to have the karma. Oh, it's a mixture of both. Okay? There's a story of a farmer who, he wanted to go to California and do farming. He said, I'm having a lot of problem here, let me go to California. A lot of Indians have gone there, got big land, especially for Punjab, and they're farming. So he was trying different things. Then he went to the astrologer. He told the astrologer, will I end up going to California and farming? Then the astrologer looked at his chart. He says, I'm seeing your next life. You will be in California. Very good, okay. You'll be a farmer. You'll be in a farming family, he said. Great. And they'll carry you everywhere. Carry me everywhere. And they'll feed you and dress you. What are you talking about? He said, you'll be a dog in a farming family in California in the next life. So he had the desire, but not the karma to get a human form. You see, two things are there. There's once Srila Prabhupada, the founder of Iskcon, went in America. They were walking and someone said, let me show you my house. Then they went in, it was not used, you can use it for the temple. So he said that the previous owner died, he really liked this house. So they entered, they opened the door and a rat ran out. And then Prabhupada looked at them, and it was not a joke, it was serious. He said, this is the previous owner. Yeah, he wanted to be in the house, he was attached, but he didn't have the karma to be a human. So both are there. Okay, we attach to our money, we'll come back maybe as, I don't know, cockroach or the money safe. So these attachments, nature gives it, whatever we do, we want. So now I'm talking about different material bodies. Now let's look at the bodies. We study in different bodies in biology. Soul enters a body depending on the karma and desire. Now we look at here, actually at the beginning stage they all look the same. But then according to our karma, there's a verse in Gita says, according to our karma, we will get a certain type of eye, ear, nose, tongue, and sense of touch. Different kind of senses. Actually it means different bodies, isn't it? Because that means body is only senses. So people like mountain climbing, and so we have mountain goats. Actually once, I personally, we had gone for Iskcon Rath Yatra in a country called Uganda. Now in Uganda, in Kampala, we were driving back to Kenya, Nairobi. On the way, my friend told me that why don't we stop by, what was the place called? It's near Lake Victoria, the source of River Nile. I said, okay, see the source of the Nile, somewhere in Uganda. So we went, but it was lower. The lake was there, the Nile was there, and there was something called rapids. Have you heard of rapids? You can go on the boat, and the river flows very fast, and you take a canoe and you go like that, then you go upside down and you have to come back up. I don't know, I can't explain, I hope you understand. You go on a boat. So we were watching that, and we saw in between the people there were little ducks doing the same thing. Then we were thinking, oh my God, what happened? You know what happened. My friend told me, there's a club here, they come every day, these people. So they were doing that, and in between there were ducks coming upside down, they were going, the ducks were going, so. Now we don't have that vision, you see. we are not taught knowledge, but in the beginning of life, this knowledge is imparted, that what is this value of the human life, what we have to do, what we have to realize. So anyway, the bodies are the same. In the beginning, but then they develop differently according to our desire. In fact, there's a particular verse which we look at. This is coming in Bhagavad Purana. It's explaining the personality of God. It said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, karma, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. See, this is the Vedas. A lot of this particular section goes deep into embryology in the Bhagavad. It says when the soul enters, when the senses develop, everything is given. So just a second, there's a... So the knowledge is given in great detail, including okay, so yeah, this knowledge is, the next topic is coming here, consciousness. Is it working? Yeah. So anyway, back on this topic, that 84 lakh type of bodies. But this depends on us, on our actions, what we take. Okay? And we went back, we discussed who are we? We are soul. Soul is inhabiting this body. And the different types of bodies. Within the body is the soul and super soul. Both are there. And what does the super soul do? It's running the body. If I ask you, for example, that whatever you ate in the morning, can you explain me how you digested it? What did you do? We don't know. Can you explain me how you're nourishing the blood in your brain and all over the body? We don't know. We are simply living in the body. It's being run just like a service department. Someone is there and it's made to, its management is carried out, but we cannot know what is happening. Okay. Now we talked about body, senses, mind. Now last topic here, consciousness. This is another topic not known much, modern science. Okay, what does it say? Look at that. Okay, so consciousness. Consciousness means I am. It says in Gita. If someone can say I am, that means he's conscious. The table can't say that. Can you say? Yeah. You can say I am? Yeah, he's conscious. So, definition, that solved. What is consciousness? Another thing, consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Soul has a symptom. Someone may ask me, can you show me the soul? I'll say, no, I can't. So I don't believe it. So, like I answered yesterday, I'll ask him, do you have intelligence? Yes. Let me see it. I don't believe you have intelligence. Or atom. I can't see an atom. I can't see the malaria virus. But how do I know if someone has malaria? Symptoms. You see? So similarly, I can't see the soul, but everyone knows the symptom of the soul. Isn't it? If you come home and someone's not moving, oh my God, what happened? He's gone. You can tell because of consciousness. Soul is there. Consciousness is a symptom of the soul. And it is driving this body. Now you see, soul is resting in the heart here. But my nail is growing. So the influence of the soul is felt all over the body. Till here. When the soul goes out, this nail won't grow. Neither will chemicals be produced in the body. In fact, according to Shastra, the matter comes from spirit. Scientists believe opposite. They say we combine the chemicals and life was generated. And famous discussion happened in 1970s by one Iskcon devotee to a scientist in Sri Lanka, Dr. Kahul. He told him, so life came from chemicals, yeah, which ones? He gave the list. He said, okay, I'm sending it to you. Can you make life? No answer. No reply. Isn't it? It's common sense. If you're saying life came from these chemicals, all right, make it. It's not, they can't make it. So consciousness is driving this body. Consciousness originally is pure, like a drop of water. Okay? And that is when we accept our identity as an eternal part of the Supreme Soul, the Spirit. But when we come into this material world, because they are two different worlds, spirit and matter. When we come into this material world, then what happens? It becomes impure. Just like rain is pure, when it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. So when we, soul, come into this material world, we get affected by material things, matter, materialism. Okay? And this is this desire that comes, that I want to enjoy separate from God, material life, materialistic. This is causing us to suffer. It manifests as anger, envy, anxiety, depression, so many things. But if one goes back on a spiritual consciousness, these things just disappear. You know, words like depression, stress, overthinking, they came now. There's no word practically in Hindi, in all the languages in India. There's no word for stress, depression. It's not there. Because built into the culture was a very strong spiritual component, that people used to come from all over the world to study the spiritual knowledge of India. But they're not able to, now that we abandoned it so much, in every generation, now we're getting affected by things. The same as in the West. So we simply have to correct this consciousness. Okay, now we talked about consciousness. There are 3 states of consciousness. These are the 3. This means, like all of you, Jagrata, awake, or someone not, I don't know. Yeah, everyone is in Jagrata mode now, which means awake. Okay? Second is called Sushupta. This means deep sleep without dream. Like when you when you put to sleep with an anesthetic, total knockout. Or when you have a deep sleep. Then the third is sleep with dreams. Swapna. These are 3 states of consciousness. Okay, now we're talking about consciousness. Now there's a state called super consciousness, which is beyond these 3 states. Okay, super consciousness. We are conscious only of the body. But when we attain Krishna consciousness, means spiritual consciousness, that is called super consciousness. We become free from all disturbances and tensions and pressures and all these things. Okay, so material consciousness means when we think I am the body. But spiritual consciousness, I am a soul and I am eternal servant of God, of Krishna. This is Bhagavad Gita's teaching. So material consciousness makes us come again and again and take birth in this material world. And that the more we try to enjoy the world, we get anxiety, depression and all these things. Now, yes, we're living in this material world and we have a material body. That goes on. But there's a way to live and there's a way to keep our consciousness, that we have to regularly come in contact with spiritual teachings and spiritual discussions and get knowledge of who we are. Understand that we are soul, we have a mind, we have senses, intelligence, and this body, and that we are not the body. When we get deeper spiritual intelligence like this, then we become spiritually conscious, Krishna conscious. At this stage, we become free from everything, sufferings relating to the body. Anger, depression, stress, hot, cold, we are not affected. This is what happened when Arjun heard Bhagavad Gita. How do we purify our material consciousness to Krishna consciousness? We have to hear teachings, spiritual teachings, and try to understand and follow them. And our life goes on. There's no significant change. You see, whatever you're doing, that goes on. But at the same time, we have to cultivate this knowledge. Now, Arjun heard the Bhagavad Gita. How long did it take? Who knows? 40? Something like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. If you chant the verses, that speed. Okay? So, when it was over, when he heard the whole thing, then he was asked by Krishna that I'm showing you what his reply was. But Krishna asked him, did you hear what I said? Yes. Now what is your mental state now? You were so disturbed. You reached a block, like all of us sometimes in our life, we reach a block. We don't know what to do next. What do we do? And why am I here? And I didn't want this suffering. Why am I suffering? So many doubts come. So in this way, he was also confused. So then, in 700 verses, minus this one, 699, Krishna spoke to him and explained absolute truth. That Arjun, you're not this body, you're a soul. You want to kill these people, you cannot do it. They're deathless, you are deathless. And whatever suffering is due to karma. And you don't have to think about that. You simply just go on and accept whatever comes. And by the way, if you come to a spiritual consciousness, you will not be affected by your karma, it will be destroyed. Okay? What was the result after he spoke the Gita? Asked Arjun, what do you think now? And Arjun, this is the Sanskrit English, Arjun said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instruction. So it's a famous verse, and when it's read by many people, for example, this Oppenheimer. So he remembers particularly 2 verses, this one and another one where he said that I am the destroyer of the world. So that's in chapter 11. So this is instructive that by hearing this, by studying this knowledge, this is the result. Illusion will go. The illusion. Now the whole topic of today is who am I, isn't it? So in illusion we are thinking we are the body. Under this illusion they make a distinction between different bodies. And animals also. But on the spiritual platform, animal, man, plant have the same soul. But they are all undergoing different karma, so they took different bodies. Our cause of suffering is the illusion of identifying with this body in this material world. But if we identify that I am a soul, I am not this body, gradually our suffering stops. And we realize that someone who includes spiritual practices in the life gradually becomes happy and peaceful in any condition, whatever condition you're in. It doesn't depend. You know, some people ask us, because we travel, that which country do you like? I told them, well, whichever country I go, I do the same thing. My same practice. I don't like hot or cold, good government, bad government. We just do what we do. Same thing, we go out, we give lecture. Some people respond nicely or badly, whatever it is, but we do same thing. So we simply do our spiritual practice. We're not affected. And that's a long topic, what to practice, how to come to that level. That's other discussions we'll have. But anyway, this comes to the end of the discussion. If anyone has questions, you can ask me. And just while you're thinking, I'll slowly just recap. Okay? So we are souls. We are not the body. How to realize? By hearing the teachings of Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, especially Bhagavad Gita. And then become free from illusion like Arjuna. We'll understand our identity. Then we are not affected by hot, cold, depression, stress. These things don't affect us at all. Hare Krishna. So any question? Great, yes, ask.
In this verse, in the translation it is written, I have regained my memory from your mercy. What
Yeah.
is Arjuna referring
The memory. Memory?
to? Yeah, what is it referring to?
Okay. You see, at this present moment, him and us, we are identifying as a body. You see? But this is not the case always. Now, I'm not going too deep, because of time and the topic. But we'll see in others later sessions that Upanishads explain that we are not from this material world. We descended from, it says, Aye dhamani divyani tashtuhu shrinrantu me amritasya putra. O children of eternal, listen to me. You who were once situated in the Divya Dham, Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world, we were there. Now we came here and we got illusion and we are taking birth as different species. So when we study and realize teachings of Gita, we remember that I'm a soul, that it comes back, our illusion goes. Now he remembers that actually I'm a soul and we are all eternally servants of God. We are servants of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita explains this. And so he remembered this. And he says, now whatever you want, I'll do. That is the purified state. So yeah, that is the point. That's what he remembered, his identity as a soul. Yeah, nice question. Any other question? Yeah.
The subtle body and the soul are two separate things.
The subtle body and the gross? A soul, okay. So, comparison between soul and subtle body, are they similar? Actually, the subtle body is a combination of three things. The mind, intelligence, and soul, but not the pure soul, who knows who he is. The illusion soul, who is thinking I am a cat, dog, whatever, gross body I think. That soul is called ahankar. Now, ahankar means another thing nowadays. Ahankar, proud person. But ahankar in this philosophy means false identity, false ego, basically. So that is subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false illusion soul. Okay, that is, and then soul, of course, is just soul, separate. Yeah, you can ask.
Sir, in marriages, when we do marriage, the Panditji says that we took 7 females and we are together by 7 lifetimes.
Where is this?
The Panditji says when we take 7 females in marriage. But you, but
The last word I didn't get.
we are counted by
Oh, marriage. I heard Bharat. Okay, sorry. Okay, I understand. We took 7 births. Okay, say it. Yeah.
And we are counted together by 7 lifetimes, in 7 lifetimes. But in Bhagavad Gita it's written that our karma and desire, they allow like what body form we have to take next in our next birth time. So isn't it contradictory to, isn't these two things?
Actually, what you are saying, that they take 7 rounds, try to find Shastric proof. Because nowadays, many people say things and there's sometimes contradiction. Some people say soul is here. Have you heard that? Example, Brahma Kumaris. But we are quoting Shastra, for example, Atmasya Jante Nihito Guhayam. This is Sanskrit for saying that Atma is residing in the heart. Okay, now regarding your question, that it would be very good if you got the shlok for this. Because everything has a basis in Shastra and it's better to find that proper thing, then we can fully accept it. Therefore, I quoted so many verses, you saw? And actually many more I have, but you'll get overloaded, so I am not. Okay, so as far as I know, 7 round, that does not denote 7 lifetimes. If you can find, we can just discuss further on that. You can find it. Yeah. Yes.
The purpose of our, the reason for our next life
Yeah.
depend upon our previous life.
Yes, correct.
But how did it all start from the
Okay.
first time?
Very.
And
Yeah.
my second question is,
Yeah.
like, in this world it's like, what you are telling is so difficult to exactly follow because of the environment which we are going through, our surroundings, and we are friends, and we are whatever.
Yeah.
So, why does Krishna wants to play a game with us like this? Why can't he directly take us and there we will learn and we will do it?
Okay. Yeah. So good. You actually you got some philosophy, your point and thinking. Yeah, that's good. There's a lot to, as I mentioned, there's a lot to say, but that in this time. So I'll answer your first question. How did it start? Okay. Now that is given in Mundaka Upanishad. There's in that shloka, in that section I told you, that originally all of us are not from here. The proof is we are not happy here. Okay, if you say we are happy, then why we are studying? To get money. Why you want money? To get a job. Why do you get a job? So I get money. So I can buy things and be happy. But if you're happy, you'll not do anything. Just sit at home. I'm happy. Everything's okay. But it's not. So this is one proof that we are not really from here. So Upanishads explain we descended from Vaikuntha. Why? The question is there. So the answer is that originally we were with Krishna in his Leela. And there is, I'm going very deep now, and some of you, this is, I think, your first time. Okay. But the question came. So if you study Bhagavad Puran and you study the Upanishads, we understand that we fell from Vaikuntha because some of us, depending on our nature, we were worshipping Vishnu, Krishna, and Nrsimha. But we did not want to serve God. We wanted to be Ishwar. We wanted to be the enjoyer. But that cannot happen then. So we descend into this material world to try to fulfill our desires, which are difficult. And this material world is conspicuous by absence of God. We cannot see God. He's nowhere. So we don't believe Him. We just have Shastras and Acharyas who come and tell us. But this is because the plan of this world is those who forgot God, come here, you don't want to serve God, you want to serve yourself. Okay, try and do it. And so we're given facility. And people illusion thinking, okay, I am earning, but actually if you check your birth chart, it's according to karma, you get exactly what you're supposed to. Now that's going into another deep topic. But it all started when we decided not to serve God. And so we descended this world. And but as Krishna says in Gita, that Mama Evanusha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All the living entities in this world are my eternal paths. They were with me. In Bhagavad Gita he says. But we decide, and then this was an act of love, serving God out of love. But we decide, no, I don't want to. Then He'll not force. Okay, come here to this material world. But if you're disconnected from me, you will not be happy. We are together in love, and if you separate, you will not be happy. So we came here looking for happiness, looking every lifetime, but separate from God. And there's something is disturbed and we don't know what it is. So anyway, the first answer is that how did it start? Our desire to separate. Shall I go to the answer second one, or you want to ask something about what I said now? Second, okay. Second one was, why is He keeping us here suffering, something like that? What is it? Why doesn't He teach everything and stop us suffering? Yeah? Instead of waiting so long that I got in VIT, I came here, and now this person is telling me. So, why? The answer is that, you see, this is an act of love. You cannot force someone, why don't you love me? You must love me. It's up to you. You have to, it's up to you. And normally, that person won't tell you, Someone will say, hey, look, like, let's say there's a parent and a child. Okay, now child is not loving the mother. So then the brother will come, why are you doing that, why are you behaving like this? Our parents are like this. You should think, something like that. So although Krishna doesn't say anything, but so many acharyas come, who are not like us. Many people come, they're called Nitya Siddha. That means they're not under karma. They just appear here, give the knowledge and return back. We have a history of them, so many. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vallabhacharya. So, it's not that he's not giving the knowledge. The knowledge is here, the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, and Acharyas are there. Then people come and try to tell you, like I'm telling you, read it, take it, try to come to it. And then we have a free will to decide. I'll take it, I won't take it. That is called free will. So, but Krishna can never force, because everyone is independent. It's up to you, you want to come and serve me out of love. This is the, okay. A lot of this is given in Bhagavad Gita and another book called Krishna, where Krishna's pastimes are explained. Krishna's Leela in philosophically deep way. So that is okay. Any other point? Question? Okay. Yeah. Go
There
ahead.
in Bhagavad Gita, there are three ways to like the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and the Jnana Yoga. So, which of them is the greatest or all three of them are equal?
Okay. Yoga means to connect with God. Okay. Yoga and Viyog means disconnected. So now one may connect in different ways. Karma Yoga means through action. Like Arjuna, he is going to fight for Krishna. And Jnana Yoga means that by studying, reading, I am trying to connect to God. Bhakti means by serving God, I connect with Him. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 1 to 6 of Gita explain this in detail. It's called the Yoga Ladder because they explain the yoga systems. It finishes, it comes till 6th chapter. Now in 6th chapter, in the last verse, Krishna says that out of all yogis, the one who is attached to me with love and devotion is the highest. Madgater antaratmana shraddhan bhajate yumam samyukta tamo mata. So he says that the highest yogi is the bhakti yogi. This is what Bhagavad Gita says in the chapter 6, text 47. This is explained. So bhakti yoga is very high. Why? It includes all other yoga systems. That's one. Two, it's very simple. Anyone can do. And then explain that if you just offer flower to Krishna Vigraha or you chant or you bow down to the Lord, this is bhakti. It purifies, it gives knowledge, it destroys our sinful reactions. So bhakti is most powerful, explained in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Hare Krishna. If you have more questions after this, you can ask. Also, there will be a book table up here where there will be many books on what we discussed. I'll also be there after Prashad time now, so you can ask more questions and take books to know more. Also, we'll continue these sessions. Today is Sunday, next Saturday, Sunday also. And what's that? We're going to have some talk about yatra. So, this Wednesday? No, this Thursday. Okay. Now a series of holidays are coming, isn't it? Few days. So this Thursday, we are thinking to plan a trip nearby to Kanchipuram. We frequently go there with people who come and attend our sessions. So we'll provide prasadam, we'll have some discussion and a lot of kirtan, we'll see holy places all together. But we want to know how many of you will be here, how many of you would like to come for that? Okay. Just a rough amount, maybe some of you have to think. Okay. So, alright, fine. Okay. And one more thing. See, you have to take leave, isn't it? So we are going to leave in the morning and come back in the evening. There will be no need to take leave for that. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, now how many? Okay. Alright, fine. Okay, we'll communicate it in our group. Okay. And I'll repeat some announcements from yesterday. Yesterday I mentioned, because you see what our aim is to impart spiritual knowledge and spiritual practice. There are many ways. Now we had a lecture, but we have visits, we have kirtan, we have videos, etc. Okay? So coming Wednesday, there will be a video show. We'll put that on the group. Okay? And 8th of February Saturday, okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, we are going to nearby Iskcon, Salem, which is in South India, second biggest temple. It's being constructed of stone, according to Shilp Shastra, traditional way, without electricity and running water. It's ancient technology. So we are going there, and of course, as a Iskcon temple, there will be many other activities, okay. And so we are going to go on Saturday night, 8th February. Okay, stay Sunday 9th, 10, 11. 11 is a holiday for you. Okay, we check the calendar. Only Monday is not. So Monday you'll have to take off if you come. Okay. So now this one and another yatra. I just again want to get hands. So how many of you would like to come for this? How many of you think you can come? Okay. All right. We'll give more information. You may decide. At that place, there's also be a special guest speaker. He's a disciple of Prabhupada. He's from UK. He's in Iskcon some 50 years. He's a sannyasi and he's a scholar of Bhagavad Gita. So he'll be there also. Okay, last one. These are different yatras we hold. Okay, but these are nearby. Now we are planning a major yatra which we do twice a year. This one is to Jagannath Puri and Mayapur. This Jagannath Puri is a very important dham, and next to that Mayapur is where Krishna's avatar in Kali Yuga appeared. So it's the biggest Iskcon temple, some 300 acres, with a lot of things to do there, and people from all over the world go there. Now they're building the biggest temple in the world. So this yatra is from 7th of May. If you check your calendar, around 5th or 6th you have your last academic day. Okay, 5th. So either 6th or 7th you'll be free. Now we are picking 7th May to leave for Jagannath Puri, which is a 24-hour trip. In Jagannath Puri we'll stay 2 days. Then we'll go to Mayapur. And Mayapur we'll stay for around 4 days. We'll finish by 14th. So on 14th, all of you can book your ticket home on that day. Okay, now bookings have opened. So from now we are booking. All right. So for this trip to Jagannath Puri, which is coming in the vacation, so how many of you can come for this? Okay. All right. So now we'll be in contact with you. You can decide. Okay, Avirup is going to post more information, and we can take names whoever's sure, because we have to start booking the trains now. Okay. We are going to book going, coming back you book to wherever you're going. Okay, because you're not coming back here. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, fine. And we have that Mayapur video. That's too long. That's 20 minutes. Okay, I'll put it here. Internet is on. Well, that's a lot of things. Will you understand what I'm saying? But during Prashad, I'll just make a point that and we can put it up here and put it in a group. We'll show it here. We'll show that here. I just put it from. My God, what happened here? No, but it's in my subscription also. And that was a different account. Subscriptions. This one. So we're just, I'm just showing a short video of Iskcon Salem, because we went many times. I hope this connects. Sound, it's not coming. No, it's not coming. Where's Danush? Danush? Okay, I got it. I got it. This is a short video on Iskcon Sela. Sound meant to come. What's going on? Sound. Oh, that VLC, external source. Okay, that I'll take. No, that is VLC. Okay, then we can just show it here. Oh, you're on sound settings. Sound, I'll take you. Sound over here. Okay, settings. Right. Okay, no, that will come here. Settings. Okay, so sound. Let's see. Now start from zero. What happened? Coming? Yeah, but so low. It's maximum.
No, here.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Our plan is moving back to this temple. We should make a clear picture who we are. Why we are here? What is this thing?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
This is a nearby temple we went to.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
I put 5 minutes of them. I have to or 10 minutes.
Skip in between there.
Yeah. No, that one. I'll play that after this. 10 minutes.
And we will finish over this area of time, which is 7:15 hours.
Camera should go off. Now someone can stop it.
So not only there, but nearby temples that we saw. Now I'm going to show